So I'm here at the site of Machaerus, which is King Herod's palace overlooking the Dead Sea here in Jordan. And this site is really cool for Christians because this is the location where John the Baptist was beheaded. So he was imprisoned here, and then Herod's daughter, it's believed, danced for her here in the courtyard, and he told her she could have whatever she wanted, and she said that she wanted the head of John the Baptist. And so Herod had John the Baptist beheaded here. And so it's going to be a little hike up to the top where the palace was. So let's check it out. Hey guys, so we are here at Machaerus. We've got the site right in front of us, the Dead Sea to the left, which you can see off in the distance. And this is one of my favorite sites in all of Jordan. This site here was built initially in 90 BC, and then it was rebuilt in 30 BC by Herod the Great, and he built a palace here. Jewish rebels ended up taking control of this site after 66 AD during the first Jewish revolt. A Roman siege began against the palace here where the Jewish rebels were hiding out in 72 AD, but the Jewish rebels ended up giving up before the Romans attacked the site. And so one thing that's really cool about this location is that the courtyard we're going to see up on top is considered one of the closest parallels to the location where Pontius Pilate judged Jesus. Before going much further, I wanted to provide a family tree for Herod the Great to help better explain the family dynamics that are going on here that we're going to talk about that makes this site famous. And so at the top, we've got Herod the Great, and he is most known for having tried to kill Jesus, and he also tried to trick the wise men, and his kingdom passed to his 4 sons. The main focus for this site is going to be Herod Antipas. And Herod Antipas ended up marrying his brother's wife, Herodias, and his brother's wife, Herodias, had a child with her first husband named Salome. And Salome, we'll see is mentioned in the story of John the Baptist being beheaded, but she ended up marrying her uncle. So a lot going on here with this family. You'll also notice King Herod Agrippa I, who, according to the Bible, was eaten by worms, and then King Herod Agrippa II, who presided over Paul's trial at Caesarea. Like I was mentioning earlier, one of the main reasons why Machaerus is so famous and so well known is because John the Baptist was beheaded here. And we even see outside of the Bible, according to Josephus, that this is the location of his execution. But let's take a look at Mark chapter 6, starting in verse 14. King Herod heard about this, for Jesus' name had become well known. Some were saying, John the Baptist has been raised from the dead, and that is why miraculous powers are at work in him. Others said, he is Elijah, and still others claimed, he is a prophet like the one of the prophets of long ago. But when Herod heard this, he said, John whom I beheaded has been raised from the dead. For Herod himself had given orders to have John arrested, and he had him bound and put in prison. He did this because of Herodias, his brother Philip's wife, whom he had married. For John had been saying to Herod, it is not lawful for you to have your brother's wife. So Herodias nursed a grudge against John, and wanted to kill him. But she was not able to, because Herod feared John and protected him, knowing him to be a righteous and holy man. When Herod heard John, he was greatly puzzled, yet he liked to listen to him. Finally, the opportune time came. On his birthday, Herod gave a banquet for his high officials and military commanders and the leading men of Galilee. When the daughter of Herodias came in and danced, she pleased Herod and his dinner guest. The king said to the girl, ask me for anything you want, and I'll give it to you. And he promised her with an oath, whatever you ask, I will give you, up to half my kingdom. She went out and said to her mother, what shall I ask for? The head of John the Baptist, she answered. At once the girl hurried in to the king with the request, I want you to give me right now the head of John the Baptist on a platter. The king was greatly distressed, but because of his oaths and his dinner guest, he did not want to refuse her. So he immediately sent an executioner with orders to bring John's head. The man went, beheaded John in the prison, and brought back his head on a platter. He presented it to the girl, and she gave it to her mother. On hearing of this, John's disciples came and took his body and laid it in a tomb.
This is a beautiful view right here of the Dead Sea. Flip around and maybe you can see it. It's really far off, so. But this whole place is beautiful. It is very hot, and it's just because it's not humid hot. It's just the sun is beating down on me hot, which, again, my fiance, if you're watching this, I applied sunscreen SPF 50, and I'm also wearing this hat, just for you. It does get a little steep here, which, if you aren't in good physical shape, this is probably going to be a little strenuous for you. The view at the top is going to be worth the hike. Get to see the Jordanian side of the Dead Sea. You also get to see the Israeli side of the Dead Sea. We are almost there. Just up this trail right here, we'll be at the top. So we're here on top of Machaerus, which is where Herod's palace once stood, and John the Baptist was more than likely imprisoned right off the side here, where all of the servants and just the workers here lived. And so he probably wasn't imprisoned inside of Herod's palace. We're going to take a walk around, check out the site, and we're even going to see where it's believed that Herod's wife's daughter danced before Herod on his birthday, and he told her with an oath that he'd give her whatever she wanted. And as you know the story, she asked for the head of John the Baptist. So pretty cool place, so let's check it out. So behind me, this would have been the banquet hall, where we could imagine on Herod's birthday, they probably had a massive feast. Right behind me. Over here, we've got the Roman baths. This would have been where the Roman style baths were. We've got the banquet hall across. And we've got this just beautiful view of the Dead Sea right across from the baths. The baths are here. So we're about to head to my favorite spot here, which is the courtyard, where it's believed that the daughter of Herodias, which we see this in the book of Matthew, I believe it's Matthew chapter 14, dances for King Herod. And he told her, whatever you want, I'll give it to you. And he's got all these guests around him. And she asked for the one thing that he didn't want to give her, and it was the head of John the Baptist. And Herod was afraid to kill John the Baptist, even though he wanted to, because he was afraid of what the people would, how they would respond, because they regarded John the Baptist as a prophet. But since he made this oath, especially in front of all these people that were there at his birthday celebration, he was not about to back down from the oath. And so what does he do? He goes and has John, who's in prison, it's believed right off the mountain here, and where all of the servants and just the workers lived right off the side, and he has him beheaded. And he has the head brought to him on a platter, and he gives it to the daughter of Herodias, who then goes and gives it to her mom. If you're like me, thinking, if these stones could talk, I'm just sitting here imagining Herod sitting on one end of these sides in his royal chair, just enjoying the celebrations and the party and just the laughter. And he's got his possibly stepdaughter. We're told it's the daughter of Herodias, and she's performing for him right here in front of us. So that is where I'm heading, over there. You can see it. Got a kind of a semi-steep hike back up, but should be able to get up there in just a few minutes. So I'll see y'all at the top.
So this pretty much wraps up our tour to Machaerus. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the subscribe button below. It helps me continue making content just like this video.